thanks for joining me. I just want to do a sort of quick end of year video and plans sort of update for 2024. I have quickly done one over on the Patreon channel, so I thought I would just do a small one for the YouTube channel as well, just to give you a quick update of what my plans are for next year. So moving forward, I've kind of really struggled with my YouTube channel this year. I kind of really do get in my own head with the videos. I did have a really bad experience, and I've been very open and honest with this with some people, and you know, and it's quite a long time ago now, but it was really nasty and it was really upsetting, and I still really do get in my own head about it. And I think one of the reasons that I'm kind of really struggling still with getting videos out there is that I'm kind of not doing videos in my style. So what I mean by that is, and I think how I'm going to rectify that moving forward is, so on videos, is I'm going to move away a little bit from doing tutorial videos. And again, what I mean by that is doing sewing videos and following patterns by the book. So I'm going to do my videos in more of a sew along style. So how I would do that pattern, how I would interpret that pattern. So things that I would do that making that bag a little bit easier. So I might skip things out of the pattern, I might do things in a slightly different order, I might take things from another pattern and do it a different way around. So yeah, so rather than doing it in an exact replication of the pattern and do it in an exact order in a 100% tutorial style, I'm going to do it more in a sew along style and put my stamp on it. And I think that's why I've been getting in my own head about it, because I'm not being true to myself and I'm not doing it how I would do it. And when I meet people in real life and when I show people how I do things in real life, that's how I do it. And I think that's when sort of I shine through, and when I feel my happiest, and when I feel my most authentic self. So I think moving forward, that's kind of how I'm going to run my videos and do it that way. And also moving forward, the block button will be getting used mercilessly. Oh, I can't say that word. You know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, since I had those really nasty comments, I haven't had any others, but I am the type of person that, you know, somebody could give me 100 compliments and I'll always focus on the one bad comment. I've always been that way. I've always been very self-deprecating, very insecure. People wouldn't think it of us when they meet me, but it's, you know, you overcompensate, and that sort of self-confidence that people say is a mask. So yeah, it's something that I need to work on and get over, but I think in order to do that, I've got to be my true self. So that's, so the sewing videos wise, I'm going to move more towards sew alongs as opposed to sewing tutorials. I would love to know what other type of videos that you would like to see from me. So whether that's inspiration type videos, whether it's what type of fabrics I'm looking at using in that month, what I've sewn that month, whether it's you know, like a recap of what I've sewn that month. When you watch other YouTubers, what is it that you enjoy from them? And this isn't me wanting to replicate other YouTubers, this is me wanting to give you what you like to see. So I'd love for you to let me know in the comments what it is that you would like to see, and I will happily do that for you. I am going to be doing some sort of vlog style videos, but they will be over on my Patreon channel. I won't be putting vlogs up on this channel, so I'll be keeping the vlog, so that's, you know, what's going on day to day sewing and in general life type things, and they will be going up on the Patreon channel. So I've had the Patreon channel for a few months. I don't go on about it massively, but I have had it for a few months. So I have 4 tiers over there. So I have the Sewing Squad supporter. That's the £2 tier. And basically what I do with that tier is I put up all of the videos that I put on YouTube. I put up over there, and then they are ad free. So you can go there and watch them ad free. And it's also a way of showing some support, you know, for the podcast, which will be restarting next week. I've had a lot going on, so I've had to take a little bit of a break from it, but I'll come to that in a second. For the Facebook group, which obviously I run, and you know, that's something that I'd have to do free of charge, but does take up a lot of my time. There's then the £4 tier, which is the Bag Enthusiast Buddy. So for that you get, again, ad-free videos that go up on YouTube and then uploaded to the Patreon channel. You'll get the vlog video. You also get your name added to the credits of the videos that go up on YouTube, and you also get thanks for videos that are put out straight after you sign up to become a supporter of any one of those 4 tiers. So when you sign up, the next video that I put out, you will receive a thanks within that video. Then the £6 tier, which is the Fabric Fanatic. So then you get all of what's been mentioned previously, but you also can join in on the monthly Zoom catch-up, which once a month we meet up on Zoom and we just have a natter, and it can be anything. Sometimes we just sit and chat. Mostly we sit and chat, usually about sewing, fabrics, new patterns, all of that sort of thing. It can be camera on, camera off, doesn't matter. You can sit in your pyjamas, you can sit with unbrushed hair, absolutely no judgment. And then the £8 tier, which is the highest tier, which is the Sewing Sorcerer, is all of those things. And then every 3 months you'll get a little gift from me to you, and that is a gift that it's just a small token gift that I will specifically choose for you to say thanks for your support. So it could be anything. It could be something that I might have picked up on during conversations in the Zoom chat, or if you're part of the group, I might have picked up on, or if I kind of met you in real life, you might come to the socials or the retreats. And if I kind of pick up on something over those 3 months, I'll sort of think of something that I know that will be nice or will be symbolic, and I'll send it on to you at the end of 3 months that you've been signed up, and that will happen every 3 months that you're a patron. So just recently I've had 2 members just pass their 3 months, and what I did is I made them some brooches that I made out of some tweed fabric that I picked up while I was on honeymoon in Scotland, because I thought that was a nice touch, because both members have been very enthusiastic and very interested in my wedding. So that's what I did. When I came home, I made them both brooches out of some tweed fabric and sent them to them once I got home. So speaking of members who've joined since my last video, I have 2 members to thank for joining. So I have Sylvia Edwards, who has joined, and I might get this pronunciation wrong because I am really bad at pronouncing names. Ruth, I think it's pronounced Strugno. If that's wrong, I am so sorry. Please put me correct, and I will do it again in the next one. If you need to put me right, by all means message me. I will send you my number, and you can send me a voice note and I will put it right, because twice my previous name and my current name people pronounce wrong. so I will make sure that I will get it right. So both of those ladies have joined on the Sew and Sorcerer Patreon channel, Patreon tier. So thank you very much for your support. So that is my Patreon channel, and so vlog videos once a month, possibly more, but at least once a month will be going up on there. And say basically the Patreon channel is a way of helping me continue running my business. Not only the creative side, obviously I run the bag supply side, but you know that can sometimes be a difficult thing to do, especially during current climate. So having the Patreon side really does help bridge the gap sometimes, and allows me to do things like continuing to run the Facebook group, continuing to run the podcast, which leads me on to the podcast. I did have to take a little bit of a break from the podcast in about October. I think the last one I put out was about the end of October. I stupidly signed up for three training courses. Not stupidly, maybe ill-advisedly. Signed up for 3 training courses at the same time. And they all led up to and finished around about the week of my wedding. And they were all quite intensive, very sort of, there weren't things I could just pick up and put down. They were all things that I really needed to be quite involved in. One of them was based on YouTube, so it was about filming, it was about all the technical side of it. So how I'm recording right now, I've done a lot of practicing on the software involved, because going back to what I was saying about doing the videos slightly differently, I want to slightly change how I record the sew along so that you get a better experience. So I've been putting in so much time. So the last few months it might look like I actually haven't been doing much, but I've actually been working like so hard. Like I've literally never stopped, as well as sorting the wedding out as well. So I was doing a training course on YouTube. I was also doing some training on podcasting and the technical side of podcasting, and I was also, it was 4 kind of, because there was sort of 2 that were linked, that were to do with sort of business and strategies and sort of the technical things to do with websites and all that sort of thing, which, you know, if you know me and you've been following me a while, you know that I'm a little bit of a geek, and I really enjoy all that sort of thing, which is quite good because you need to survive in business nowadays. But yeah, I've been doing that too. So the last 3 months have just been sort of really full on, and I think in order to kind of get the best out of these training courses that I've paid a lot of money to do, I've kind of had to take a step back from kind of being visible and being in places and showing up at places, and just kind of have my head down and learn. And then obviously I've kind of finished these courses and then had the wedding and then been on honeymoon, and then we've come into Christmas. So yeah, I just kind of feel this last 2 weeks I've just kind of gone and just, yeah, I just feel like I've been in a spin for the last, like I say, since about the end of October. So I will be recording new podcast episodes going into January. So I have lots of ideas. I'm sorry, I need a cough. Lots of bugs going around in this house at the moment. So, and I think I'm coming down with it. So it might be the end of next week when I start the podcast recording, we'll see. Yeah, so there's lots sort of happening. I've got lots of ideas for podcast episodes. So again, if there's anything that you'd like me to chat about, I mean, it's not that I can't talk and waffle on about things. So if there's things that you'd like me to chat about, if there's things that you struggle with that you'd like me to look into and record episodes on, I am more than happy to do that. I am as geeky as the next person, and if it's not anything that I know about, I will go out there and I will learn about it and I will record an episode on it. So yeah, give me ideas. I'm all open to ideas. By all means, put them in the comments. So yeah, so with regards to the YouTube channel, the Patreon and the podcast, they are sort of the plans for the next year moving forward. With regards to myself and my sort of goals for 2024, I'm not making resolutions or anything like that because I'm the world's worst at keeping them. The minute I make a resolution, the little devil on my shoulder goes, not going to happen, and instantly sets myself up to fail. So I am setting myself some goals to continue to upskill myself. So I did a lot of upskilling with regards to sort of technical things last year, so with regards to recording, technology, websites, business strategy, all of that sort of thing. And I think next year I want to upskill myself a little bit more on the creativity side. So I think it will be going back to basics a little bit with bag making and the sewing, and kind of really delving into that side of it. So I would love there to be some courses, like how you can go to college and learn like fashion design and stuff. Like I'd love there to be a course on like bag making, and or even like accessories, to go to uni and learn bags and shoes and that sort of thing, but there isn't. But there are obviously information out there, so I think I'd love to go and delve more into sort of history of things and more techniques, and really upskill myself that way and just kind of get better. I'd like to finish 2024 a better bag maker than I started 2024. So that is my goal for next year. And that's not to sort of say that I think I'm a bad bag maker, because I don't think I am, but I think we can always be better and we can always learn. So that's kind of my goal sort of within work for next year. Personally, my goal for 2024 is to not wear pyjamas so much. I think working from home, it's very, very easy to kind of hide away and not really bother getting dressed, and just, well, I get dressed in new pyjamas. That's what I do. I get up, I have a wash, I put clean pyjamas on. So my goal for 2024 is to it might be comfy clothes, but I'll put clothes on a little bit more often, and to leave the house a little bit more often. Yeah, and like most people, get a little bit of weight off. I have put quite a lot of weight on, and I think that's possibly another one of the reasons why I've shied away from making videos a little bit as well, because I have put a lot of weight on. I've got quite a few medical things going on, and yeah, the weight has piled on, so probably leaving the house a little bit more often would help with that. So that's a little bit of a personal goal for 2024. But again, I'm not sort of saying, I'm gonna do this and do that, do the other. I'm just kind of gonna move a little bit more and be a little bit kinder to myself. I think that's as far as I need to kind of go, and just see how things go, and just see what happens. So yeah, I kind of think that's all the sort of plans for 2024 that I wanted to kind of update people on. And the only other thing that I thought I wanted to include in this video, and I'm sure a lot of people kind of do know and are aware, is that I run the business entirely solely on my own, apart from sometimes when I am really snowed under and working really late and Grumpy comes in from work and he sometimes gives me a hand with orders and packing, or sometimes takes my orders to the post office when he comes in from work. But I do run the business purely solely on my own, so that comes down to doing the ordering, sourcing, the products, the website. I build and run the website all on my own, keeping the stock up to date on the website, which the website does sometimes like to keep me on my toes with that, and sometimes just does its own thing. I pick the orders, I pack the orders, I send the orders out. Apart from, like I say, sometimes I do get sometimes a little bit of help with that. I take the orders to the post office. I do the videos. I do the Facebook group. I do the podcasts. I do all the social media. All of the things I do everything. I don't have anybody in the background. I don't have a virtual assistant. I don't have anybody else doing anything. It's all me. So one of the things I wanted to kind of put out there was to do with postage. So how I tend to run things is I do my post at 3 o'clock. So come 3 o'clock, I kind of down tools and I go and I sort my posts. I print the post and I pick all the orders that's there, package them up, sort them, and then go and take them and drop them off, because it can take me a good few hours to pick them, check them over, package them all up, print the postage out, and then take them and drop them off. So I do occasionally, sometimes if I've finished off doing them and I get an order through and it's not too big of an order, I will sometimes occasionally print it off and quickly pick it and package it up and send it out. So sometimes if you put an order through at 4:30, you will immediately get a dispatch notice and it'll go out the same day. Sometimes you'll put an order through at 4 o'clock and you won't get a dispatch notice through until the next day, and that's because I've had a fair few orders that day and I just can't physically get the orders that's already been placed and do that order and get them all to the post box before the last post, because it would mean I would miss it. So I sometimes get people messaging me saying, oh, I've put an order in and it hasn't gone out, and I'm like, no, because I couldn't get to it and still get all the ones done that's already been put in, because it is just me. I don't have anybody else helping me. Sometimes I have to bring my post forward a little bit, because if I have an appointment later on a day, sometimes my mum has hospital appointments that I need to take her to later on in the day. Sometimes I need to take one of the children to something later on in the day, so sometimes I might need to bring my post forward to say 1 o'clock and do it, and then take the post with me and drop it off when I need to go to wherever I need to go. So that's why I have in the confirmation that the post will go out within 1 to 2 working days, so that it just gives me a little bit of leeway that should life happen, that I'll still sort of manage those expectations and get your parcel out within that time scale. Usually post will go out the same working day, usually. I do post every single day, but it's just something to bear in mind. If you are placing an order that it is just me doing it, and I am just one person, and I am somebody who does have sort of chronic conditions herself, and I have bad days and I have bad pain days, so you know, sometimes I'm just doing my best. So yeah, so usually, you know, very worst case scenario, if you place an order one day, the latest it would go out would be the next day, and if it was going to be any later than that, you would be contacted by me. So yeah, so it's just to sort of put it out there, because I do sometimes get contacted by people who put an order in at 4:30, and I'll sometimes get an email at like 8 o'clock at night saying it hasn't gone out, and that's the reason why, is because it's coming at 4 or 4:30, and it won't go out until the next working day, because I've been picking orders already that need to go out that day, that have come in earlier that day. So yeah, I just thought it was probably easier to put it on a video and try and explain than to kind of put a post out or to try and put something out on the website, because it's not always easy to explain in word, and I think sometimes it's easier to explain on a video, and I can possibly maybe just put a link to the video on the website, and then it is a little bit easier to sort of explain the processes. And I think sometimes when you have quite a big website, and you know, people sort of automatically think that you have a big team, or that you have quite a few people working for you, and yeah, I don't. It's literally just me, and I work out of, let's think, the space is probably about 8 foot by 8 foot. It's not big, it's not huge, which is again is why when people sometimes message me and say, oh, you know, why don't you stock this, why don't you stock that, it's literally space. I have to be very, very, very savvy with what I stock. So yeah, that's why, because the space I work out of is very, very small. It's very, very well organised, but it's very, very small. So yeah, so that is me in a nutshell, and what the plans are for 2024. I'm actually really, really excited for 2024. I'm really excited to get stuck in. It's been a weird 2023. I've had quite a crap 2023, but also quite an amazing 2023 as well. Obviously got married, and it was fantastic. I'm still quite on a high from the wedding, but yeah, there's been quite a lot of lows of 2023 as well. So yeah, I am kind of quite looking forward to seeing the back of 2023, but not entirely. But I'm really looking forward to 2024. I'm looking forward to getting stuck in. Quite looking forward to getting through some of my fabric stash, which is all hidden in these 6 cupboards. I couldn't think of the word then. Cupboards. How was that hard? So yeah, I need to get my fabric stash down. It is getting very, very, very out of hand, and I had a big sort out in here. I think it was the day after Boxing Day. I decided to change all these cupboards round, which isn't very good when you've got a busted shoulder, and went through all of my patterns, and I was like, you've just got a ridiculous amount of patterns that I've never even attempted. So that's kind of another one of my goals for 2024, is to not be so scared of, sorry, Neve's coming in, and I think she's had a few glasses of wine in Newcastle, so she might be a bit loud. So yeah, I've decided that I need to start tackling the patterns that I've bought, because they're beautiful and I've been frightened to do them. So yeah, so that's my 2024 plans in a nutshell. So I'm really happy to have you along for the ride. Like I say, let me know what you think of videos that you'd like to see, podcast episodes. Tell me how your Christmas has been. I'd just basically love to hear from you in the comments. So thanks for listening to me chatter on for nearly 30 minutes. I always say these are going to be quick, and I totally lie. I couldn't have a quick chat if I wanted to. It's just not in my nature. So thanks for having us, and I'll see you next year. So have a lovely new year, and we'll speak soon. Bye.